Today, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 Navy Fed tips. If you are a new member or an existing member that have not been using your account the correct way, today I got my top 10 tips for you if you're trying to get any type of credit product with Navy Fed. Also, I have a bonus tip which is going to make it 11, so you want to make sure that you stay all the way to the end for this one, guys. Hi, and welcome back to Starr Knows Credit. My name is Starr Carter, and on this channel I talk personal and business credit and everything else that's going to help us level up and get the bag. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Also leaving me a comment and let me know how I'm doing on this channel. I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into these top 10 tips if you are new to Navy Fed or already an existing member. So let's get it going. Number one. All right, if you only have a savings account with Navy Fed, you need to get a checking account as well. What we're doing right now, we're trying to build a relationship with this credit union. Navy Fed is all about relationships, so you got to have everything that I put on this list, and that's starting with a checking account. Now, you do not have to get the flagship checking account if you are seeking to get the flagship credit card. I have the flagship credit card and I only have the regular free checking, okay? So that does not really matter. You will hear some people say that you need to get it, but that was not my case, therefore I didn't get it. But if you do get the flagship checking account, do keep in mind that you have to keep a minimum of $1,500 in that account in order to avoid the maintenance fee, the monthly maintenance fee, okay? Number two, make sure that you have direct deposit going into those accounts. That means your basic savings account that you have to have an account with them, and whatever checking account you choose, make sure that you have a direct deposit going into that account, because Navy Fed loves to see that you have steady income coming in. Now that dollar amount does not matter, but it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to show them how much money that you have coming in, so say for instance if you're trying to get a car loan with them, well, you will want them to see how much money do you have actually coming in from whatever it is that you do. So you may want your whole direct deposit going into that account if you're trying to get a car loan with them, or if you're trying to get a home loan with them. It just depends on how big of money are you trying to get from them when you apply. It's going to depend on how much money that you need to have going into that account from your check, okay? But just keep in mind that you want to keep Navy Fed like your primary bank. You want to treat them like it's your primary bank, even if they're not, okay? You could have an account somewhere else, but you do want to treat them or make them feel like you are their primary bank. That meaning with the checking account, you should be using your debit card. You should be having bills come out, drafts every month. You want to have where you are using the account, okay? Show them where you have the ability of things coming in, and you also have the ability of things going out. And that way they will look at you as a real customer and not somebody that is either trying to use them as a check cash in place or just out to get credit from them. You want to treat the account as a real account, okay? Number three, you want to open up a Saver First account, okay? A Saver First is a savings account that they offer. It's also $5. It's just another way of showing them that you know how to handle money, okay? That you can save money as well as you can borrow money, all right? It goes hand in hand. Good finances equals excellent credit. So showing them that you have the ability to save money as well as you have the ability to borrow money goes a long way with them, okay? It's up to you how much you want to put in there every time you get paid. As little as $20, $10, whatever it is that you want to put in there, but you just want to make sure that you are making some regular deposits also into that account to show that you do know how to save, all right? Next thing that I recommend, number four, is getting the Easy Start CD. The Easy Start certificate is another good way of showing them that you know how to use save money as well. Now, one thing about the Easy Start CD, it only takes $50 minimum to open up this certificate. But you want to do the 12-month. You can do as little as 6 months, but you want to do the 12-month because you can get a high yield at this time. I make this video, it's October the 2nd. So right now on the Easy Start, it's 4.8, I think it was that I seen. But if you get the special Easy Start for people that do have direct deposit, it can be a little over 5%. So just make sure that you're getting one that's going to fit your needs, and make sure it's no shorter than 12 months. You are allowing, when you're putting this money in there, you are allowing this credit union to use your money to lend to other members. That's the point of keeping money in your account, because credit unions are non-profit entities, okay? So they use all the members' money in order to lend to the member, which is you, okay? So you want to make sure that you're leaving money in there in order for you to get money from them when you need it, all right? All right, number 5. Also, if you want to do a loan product, you definitely want to open up a share secure loan, which is also known as a pledge loan. Now, it does not even matter what your credit score is, because if y'all saw my denials video, even though my credit score is pushing at 800 now, when I applied back in April for the flagship card, after only being a member with them a month, they gave me a high APR because my internal score was only at 303. And one of the reasons that they had in my letter for that was because I did not have any secured products, meaning a secured loan. So make sure that you're doing the pledge loan with them. The minimum is $250, but the caveat to that is you could do the $250, but you don't want to get this loan if you cannot let it ride out for at least 2 years. And the reason why I say that is because with FICO can only calculate your score if you go all the way up to 6 months. So they got to see transactions for at least 6 months to see what is your behavior, what is it that you're doing with this new credit. So anything less than 6 months would not do you any good. I mean, it's got to be at least 6 months for FICO, okay? And then the longer you have it, the better it is on your length of history, also making your credit score even stronger, okay? And then letting them know that you can handle credit for at least 2 years, especially if you're building or rebuilding credit. This is another good way to get you back on the map, all right? Number 6, you want to wait 3 to 4 months, especially if you are a new member. You want to wait 3 to 4 months before you actually try to apply for any credit, okay? You want to make sure that you are giving this relationship time to get its legs. You got to crawl before you walk. So you want to make sure that you are giving this relationship time with your direct deposit, using your account, starting those different products that I was telling you about with the Saver First pledge loan, and also your Easy Start certificate. So you want to make sure that you are doing all those things first before you try to pull the trigger and apply for credit. So let this relationship forge ahead. Now, depending on where you're at in your own credit, it may have to be longer than 3 to 4 months, because you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. It's not about how fast you can get it if your results are not going to be in favor of what you're trying to accomplish. So sometimes you got to pump the brakes, and you got to make sure you do everything in step. So therefore, when you do pull the trigger, you're not getting a denial, and then you got to wait a little longer because you got a hard inquiry. So that brings me to number 7. And whatever debt that you have outside of Navy Fed, make sure that you are paying those debts on time. No late payments, guys. I don't care what you had on your credit report in the past. Going forward, you need to make sure that your payments are made on time. Because one thing about FICO 8 has a memory, okay? So it has a memory, but it also, the further you get away from that negative item, the better off your score will become over time. Therefore, 2 years and those years of good credit habits helps the score more than all of a sudden getting new credit and new credit and new credit. You want to forge that relationship just the same way, but you want to make sure that what you already have, that you are being a good stewardess and paying those things on time. If you have a credit card, or you have credit cards with other lenders, 30% utilization, guys. Keep it under 30%. No maxed out credit cards. Do not apply for a credit card with Navy Fed if you got maxed out credit cards on your credit report. It looks like you're living off your credit. That's not a good look, okay? It's not a good look. It does not show that you are good with your money. Your credit score is a risk score. They're trying to figure out how risky are you, okay? So if your credit cards are maxed out, you look risky. You look like you're living off your credit. So make sure you're keeping those credit utilizations low, and make sure you are making those payments on time. If you got to set everything up on auto, that's what you need to do, because you do not need to have any mixed payments. Also, Number 8, you want to make sure that you keep your inquiries low on TransUnion because they pull from TransUnion. So you cannot have a whole bunch of inquiries going on TransUnion because Navy Fed is inquiry sensitive, okay? So you want to keep those inquiries under 3 at all time if you can. So that means if you already got 3 inquiries at the time you see this video, then you need to check to see when those inquiries are going to fall off. Most inquiries take 2 years to come off your credit report. So you may have to wait it out. But in the time that you're waiting, you're going to make sure you're doing the other things that I've already listed, okay? Number 9, you want to make sure you keep a good standing with your other accounts that I just talked about, especially your checking account. No overdrafts, guys. We don't want nothing going into the negative, nothing being returned as an NSF, ACH, or check or anything, because you got to show that you are able to handle money, okay? It's not about how much debt you can get, but how can you handle money, period, okay? Because they're not going to give you money of theirs if you can't handle money of yours. All right, you got to be logical about this thing. So make sure that you are handling your checking account and any of those other accounts in good standing. All right, make sure that at all times. Number 10, so after you do all the things that I just talked about, in 3 to 4 months, if you do this all at the same time, and depending on where your credit is right now, in 3 to 4 months, what I want you to do is I want you to pre-qualify yourself on any one of their credit cards that you're interested in. But one thing I do like about Navy Fed, it doesn't matter what card that you apply for. If you are qualified for any of their cards, they're going to put every last card on there. They're going to list what cards you are pre-qualified for, because that's what happened to me. When I applied for the flagship card, they showed me that I was approved for every last one of their cards on their website, and that's what they'll do for you depending on where you at in your credit journey right now. So one thing I like about the pre-qualify is it gives you an idea of how they look at you. Now, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be approved, so I shouldn't have said pre-approval, but it is a pre-qualify. It'll give you an idea. So say for instance that you do the pre-qualify, but you're only pre-qualified for the N rewards card. That is their secured credit card. Okay, so here we are. You're at a crossroads right now. You got 1 or 2 ways you can go. You can either apply for this card or you can wait it out. So here we go. If you wait it out, then you need to continue to rinse and repeat everything that we already talked about in the other 9 steps. Making sure that you are doing everything right as far as your other debts that you have outside of Navy Federal, any other obligations you have outside of Navy Federal, direct deposit, using that account, your CD, putting money into your Easy Start, putting money into your Saver First. You want to do all of those things, okay? And making sure that you are keeping everything in the best standing that it can be, okay? It's very crucial. So say you do decide that you want to get started with the N Rewards card. Bonus tip number 11, okay? If you do decide to go with the N Rewards card, you don't want to do anything less than $500, okay? Do not secure anything less than $500. So if you don't have $500, when you do pull the trigger, then you need to continue to save inside of your Saver First account in order to put at least $500 on there. My suggestion would be $1,000, because the higher you can put on the secured card is the higher that they can start you off when the card becomes unsecured. When they decide to give you your money back, that will be your limit. And then if they give you some more, that'll be the higher you already are, okay? So however much you can do, but no less than 500, okay? And one thing you got to also think about, when you get this secured card, you want to treat it with very kid gloves. That means no maxing it out, guys. And if you do max it out, you have to pay this card back off every single month. Pay it off. You want to show Navy Fed that you have the ability to borrow and repay money, because that's what credit is. You're borrowing and you're repaying money. So you have to demonstrate that you know how to do that. You know how to save money, you know how to utilize your money, and you know how to pay money back if you are lended money, especially your own. There's no point in you carrying a balance and paying interest on your money, because it's not their money you're paying that 18% interest on. It's your money, because the N Rewards card has an 18% default interest rate. So there's no point in you're paying interest on your money. That is higher than what you're getting paid in your savings account. So you're just throwing money away. Pay it back off. And if you can't afford to pay off what you're spending, then don't charge no more than you can. That is very important. Okay, because you have to demonstrate that you can handle credit. That is the game. You got to show them that. Your credit score, as I said before, is your risk score. How risky are you? How do you look? Okay, so in order for that N Rewards card to graduate, you want to make sure that you keep that utilization very low and pay that card off every month. And all your other outstanding debts with other lenders, same thing, paying everything on time and looking as good on paper as you should already be. Okay, it's all about getting these credit scores up, getting the internal scores up with Navy Fed, and then you will be able to have a leg up. All right, so I'm hoping that this video brought you some more insight, because I get a whole lot of emails about this topic all the time, like, Starr, what up? I just joined Navy Fed. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So that's why I went back and did this video, because a lot of people do hit me up. So if that has been your question, I hope that I have answered it this time. Now, here's another thing too. If you have did the pre-qualify and you did not qualify for any of their products, then you need to continue to forge the relationship. Rome wasn't built in a day, so you need to just continue to forge the relationship. Don't go out there getting all these bad credit cards that are not good for you, that are predatory, because your credit score might not be that good. Just chill out, okay? I did a whole video on some of the worst credit cards you can get when you're trying to rebuild your credit, or even new to credit. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are just chill. Okay, just chill and let things just forge ahead as they should, and then you will get the outcome that you're trying to get. It might be a little longer than what you expected, but it's going to be better than if you do it now and you're not credit ready. And with that being said, if y'all want to be a part of the Credit Ready program, the course is still open. Y'all can click the link down in the description. And if you would like to get a consultation one-on-one with me, the link for that is also in the description. Y'all leave me a comment and let me know what your experience is with Navy Fed lately. I want to hear from you guys. You can go to starrknowscredit.com and sign up for my email as well. And I appreciate all your love and support. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace, peace.